What moment made you say, yep, I'm definitely dead, but survived with no major injuries? Insane car crash. Sitting stopped at a red light and a woman not watching the road at all, texting, hit me at highway speeds. I was pushed into the crossing traffic that somehow all dodged me. Someone ran up to the car and first question was, "Oh my God, you're alive?" And I answered, honestly, I'm not sure. I couldn't open my door but climbed out the window. The entire back of the car was collapsed in. Car crash here as well. I was 15, driver was 16 with a learner's permit. I got into the shotgun seat and my friend started kicking the back and complaining that I always get shotgun. Normally I would have told him to go fuck himself cause I called it fairly, but that time I was like, okay, you got it. We went speeding down a twisty country road, it started to rain, car hydroplaned down a hill, flipped once or twice and hit a tree. When I opened my eyes I saw half the front seat had been knocked into the back, along with my friend. Blood everywhere. Driver was fine, I had a concussion, shotgun passenger had brain trauma and was never the same. Edit, this was in Texas. The driver never fully took responsibility for his actions or apologized. No, it's not legal for a learner to drive without a licensed person in the car. My injured friend had after effects like seizures for a year then appeared to be fully healed. But as he got older his personality completely changed, in a really radical way, he became very antisocial and difficult. No way we could be sure, but all of us attributed it to the accident. Glad you dodged a bullet but sorry for your friends. Frown. If only we could all go back and make better choices. Hug. I was driving home from college on one of those highways with only one lane in either direction and no shoulder. A guy in the oncoming lane didn't see me as I was in a small car. He thought he could pass 4 18-wheelers in one go and pulled into my lane going at least 90. There was nowhere for me to go. He flew off into the ditch to avoid hitting me head on, likely did severe damage to his car, but I lived. For me this is the scariest possible thing about driving. I can drive as well as I like, I can be as cautious as I want, I can go as slow as I want. Some idiot could still come flying out onto my side of the road going the wrong way and wipe me out, just like that. Happened to a family near where I grew up a couple years back. Some dude got messed up on drugs or something and started driving the wrong way down a highway just like this. He hit the family head on and they all died. He lived, though, as far as I can remember. Edit, thank you for those of you sharing your stories and experiences with this. It's truly astonishing how much this happens. Those of you suggesting I might drive too cautiously or be living too afraid, I don't and am not, don't worry, smile. I advocate driving defensively and sensibly. Ensure your speed is appropriate for the conditions on the road. Been driving some years and been in 2 accidents myself, both zero fault on my side. Be sensible and good luck on the roads to you. I was driving on a main road and I guess someone wanted to left turn onto a side street so much that they just pulled out of their lane and drove down the wrong side of the road past several streets, speeding, coming directly for me, and I legit had nowhere to go but QA. So many cars were parked in front of houses so I couldn't even pull over. I just stopped and held my breath until they turned left.
It wouldn't have been the most high impact crash, they were going like 45 and a 25, but it was scary how deliberate it was.
Like they chose to drive the wrong way to find this side street. I was drunk and running in the woods when bam, barbed wire fence straight to the throat. The last thing I remember I couldn't breathe and was passing out and there was blood squirting from my neck. Woke up an hour later and walked home looking like a murder victim. My dad once took some barbed wire to the throat too. It happened before I was born and I can't remember all the details, but I do remember my mom recounting how he showed back up at the house with blood running down his body. Mom couldn't handle it and left the room. To be fair, she was only like 18 at the time. Thankfully, her mom was around and leapt in to help. It happened before I was born and I can't remember all the details. I know what you mean, but it almost sounds like you are saying that despite not having been born, you witnessed it but have forgotten some of the details. Boyfriend finally woke me up shortly after we had fallen asleep in a small upstairs bedroom that had a smoldering fire. After we collapsed on the floor and couldn't find the door that was not even 5 feet away, we kept hitting walls and corners and started to not comprehend anything. After feeling like I was baking in an oven, I laid my head down on the floor thinking I'd never see my son again and how sad it was to die. It felt like eternity and felt very lonely. My boyfriend somehow found his phone on the floor, called 911. Fire department showed up in what felt like 2 seconds but couldn't break down the front door. They shined the flashlight up to windows so he could kick out the AC unit, which he did. They finally came upstairs and we crawled to them and they took us straight to the burn unit since they didn't know what shape we were in. I'm pretty sure the entire hospital toured through our room since they've never seen anyone make it out and look the way we did. The photo is crazy. Wow, joke's on you, they set that fire to cover up their shameful use of blackface. Had a paintball fight on Christmas morning with 2 cousins and their neighbor kid at around 13 years old with our brand new guns we got as gifts. The neighbor got mad, ran home, came back with a shotgun, and pointed at my face. All I remember is looking at the ground and waiting to die. Edit, the kid was 11 to 12. He did have his own paintball gun, and had already shot me a couple times before I got him. He was my cousin's neighbor. I think it was the first time I ever met him. It was 20-ish years ago, as I'm 33 now, so I can't even remember if I told my parents. I don't know if anything happened to him or not. I'll ask my cousin. Edit 2, cousin said we never told parents. Maybe we were scared of retaliation. I know I never touched that paintball gun again though. How to tell someone that you are American without actually telling that you are American. I ate one of those Brock's oval-shaped hard candies, think they were called sparklets, at home alone when I was 6. Got stuck in my throat. I stood there in shock for a few seconds as I started to realize I couldn't breathe. I ran crazily around the room and ended up colliding hard into the back of the couch, which caused the candy to go flying out. Best accidental Heimlich ever. My brother had a full blockage from a sour warhead at about 9 years of age. I was the only other one home, on the computer. He bursts in with a purple face, gestures wildly at his throat and then continues his panic circuit around the house. Chased him down, threw him chest first against the kitchen sink and struck him as hard as I could across the back. Candy went flying out, and I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. What I did in panic was actually close to textbook first aid for a choking victim. The way you put it made it sound like you broke his entire ribcage. I had leg cramp and a momentary blackout when swimming in a diving pool when I was 16. I was really active that I overexert my limit. Surprisingly, I didn't really panic. Just the dreadful thought, oh shit, I'm fucked. Funny thing is that I didn't really wingle my hands out of the pool panickingly like I usually see in the TV, just silently sinking. Good thing the pool guard on duty noticed me and went for my rescue by pulling me out. Really wish I thanked the guard more that he saved me instead of me cluelessly sitting outside the lobby after the accident. The thing is, very rarely do people flail their hands in panic when they drown. Usually they just stay still with their mouth and nose submerged underwater. What you want to look for is not the panic, but the responsiveness. Hi, just to add to this, I used to be a lifeguard and one of the main things I learned is that this is 100% true. Over the course of 2 years I have 13 saves and only 1 to 2 flailed their arms. I had someone swimming laps for 3+ hours start drowning because of a leg cramp. They had swam in front of me for both years I worked there for hours, but the leg cramp took them out. Also, most saves came from clueless parents. I had one kid look me dead in the eye, jump into the deep end, 16 feet, and take his life jacket off. He was 2, couldn't swim, and his mom had taken him to the pool, left him there and was going to come get him later. Also, a little fun fact, if there are 2 diving boards, and 1 lifeguard watching, and neither you or the person on the other diving board can swim, please, and I mean please, go one at a time. I still have a scar from where 2 little kids jumped at the same time, and when I got to one, the first instinct is to get out of the water, so they climb you. So I got climbed by a 6-year-old girl, who wrapped her body around half my face and trapped an arm against my side, and then I got to her 9-year-old brother, also drowning, who wrapped his legs around one of mine, trapped my other arm and wrapped his body around my now blocked face. If their parents were paying attention, maybe I wouldn't have a scar on my back from where one of them gouged their fingernails into it trying to escape. Be safe with water and watch your kids, people. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.